So, one last presentation to go. Of course, I've been around here for all of those fish numbers. On the graph, I so see when the Chedoke spill started on 214 for the fish numbers, and the whole thing falls apart. And we just haven't quite turned it around, but maybe a little bit last year. And the fish, of course, big migrations out to the harbor. They have to live through a lot of stuff. We're down to the final. What are we looking forward to? Over to you, Lindsay.
Okay.
Who's from Trent?
First, I was going to say, let's see a show of hands. Anyone from Trent University in the house? Only 3. Okay, what about Guelph? Okay, Guelph.
University of Guelph.
Okay, all right, you win tonight. Okay, well, McMaster. Oh, okay. Well, Guelph and Trent are known for their environmental programs, but I know Mac has some good ones too. Let's go ahead with looking ahead at this year, and I'm going to wrap up with just giving you a little bit of teaser on some projects that we'll be working on. First, we will kick off the spring with another prescribed burn at Princess Point. So we've worked at restoring tallgrass prairie to Princess Point for a number of years now. And a tallgrass prairie is a rare habitat for southern Ontario, and it needs an ecological disturbance to maintain its grassland state. So that ecological disturbance, we as land managers, we provide or prescribe fire to do that. So otherwise, the tallgrass prairie would likely succeed into a forest habitat. So with the fire, it controls the woody vegetation, and it also helps to control invasive species as well, because our native grasses are really resilient to fire, and if we hit the non-native species at the right time, we can control invasive species as well with the fire. So I always look forward to seeing the response of the vegetation afterwards, after we burn, and I really look forward to it again this year. Our burns are controlled by Lands and Forest Consulting. They're prescribed burn specialists. And we don't know the date exactly of when the burn will occur, because it does take a lot of different weather parameters that have to be just perfect in order for us to do a safe and controlled burn. So if you want more information on our burn program and when the burn might occur, please look at our website. Now, we've had a problem with an invasive species, and it's been increasing over the last 10 to 15 years. So this is a magnolia. It's been escaping from our Arboretum magnolia collection, and we've pulled out tens of thousands in the ravines. So this is a problem we know we need to get ahead of it before it becomes a problem for Ontario. So we've been looking at identifying what magnolia is escaping. We know that it's Magnolia cobus that is part of the culprit, but there could be some hybridization occurring. So we've partnered with the University of Guelph, Adeline Gagnon, and our curator, herbarium curator and field botanist Nadia Cavalin are heading up this program and this test to look at the DNA analysis of the escaped magnolia population and comparing it to DNA analysis from all of the species in our collections. So we've collected about 54 vegetation samples to run DNA testing. So I am looking very much forward to the results from this. It's happening as we speak. So hopefully we can get ahead of this invasion front and be able to fully prevent and control this invasive species from increasing further in our nature sanctuaries. So Sarah did mention the American chestnut recovery, their seed orchard, and it's like Fort Knox out there, right? Like, these are very protected species. They can't escape and nothing can get in. I think as planting lots of trees, we know that the first 3 years are very important for the seedling survival. So I'm really excited to see the results of this. And I know that the information we gain from this project will help further chestnut recovery in Ontario. And then there's the Blandings Turtle Head Starts. It's just so exciting to see. And we released 5 this year, over 25 next year, well, sorry, this year, last year, this year. So gaining, again, critical information for the recovery of the Blandings turtle. And so much information we will be able to gain from tracking these ones. And then there's the Coots Paradise marsh recovery. I'm really hoping that we'll see another good year of clear water. If I told you I took this picture in Coots Paradise 5 years ago, I would have been like, no, that's your cottage or something. But no, this was this year, and it's so amazing to see the response of the vegetation when the water becomes clean. And then Jen also mentioned the wild rice conservation. Wild rice needs calm, clean, clear water to thrive, and that's why this plant survival is so important. It's like an indicator for wetland quality. Over the years, I've seen very minimal wild rice patches when I started working here, and I keep seeing more and more every time I get to go out and visit the marsh. So I'm excited for this to continue. And then building forest resilience in a changing climate. And I wanted to highlight that Natural Resources Canada has climate modeling for different various native species to North America. And we're looking closely at this modeling. And there's 4 maps here, and they're different, modeling under different climate scenarios. So this is a range map for the eastern hemlock, one that Jenna talked about. And you can see that they're under, let's say, current, mild, medium, and extreme temperature increases. So we're looking at the bottom left. That's about a medium temperature increase in the future. And you can see that the climate, the range of the eastern hemlock, which is in green, has shifted north, or yes, north. So we're looking closely at the different native species we have growing on our property, which ones are at risk of maybe changing their ranges, and which ones might be coming up, and which ones might be safe. So this is all going to be incorporated into our restoration process and forest resilient plan. And I wanted to end on a note that highlights all the staff that work in our department. Today you heard from a number of, just a handful of us who work in the Natural Lands Department, but these are all staff who played a role in our nature sanctuaries this year, and I want to give a shout out to our biotechnicians. They keep our trails safe and nice to walk on. They also operate the fishway and do so much more. And then a number of interns pass through our staff each year, and we do get help from other departments such as Nadia Cavalin, who's our field botanist. She helps us identify plants. And I wanted to just quickly, I know it's a little bit of a sad note, but we did lose a dear colleague this year, Jim Pringle. He was our plant taxonomist. He was a helpful guide and mentor. Whenever we got stuck with a difficult plant ID, Jim would be there to help us work through it. He'd be the voice of reason. And he'd just be like, well, you just don't have enough plant material to be able to identify this plant. So just, it's fine, give up, forget about it, move on. And I show him here at one of our pie potlucks, and he was always there for the potluck, and it was always great to visit him when we had one. He always championed our work and encouraged us to share the information that we gained through our experiences. So thank you for listening today, and I hope you leave here tonight having learned a little bit more about the ecosystems at RBG. So thank you very much.